Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
Washington Post World, September 13, 12:01 America, New York. For Biden and the United States, 9/11 anniversary offers a grim symmetry. On Saturday, it was the Taliban that made the more pointed statement. RT World News, September 13, 6:37 America, New York. Venezuela reports another terrorist attack on its electrical system as power outages hit Caracas region and other areas. Venezuela's electrical system was targeted by another terrorist attack on Sunday, Minister of Electric Power Nestor Riveral has said, referring to power outages in the Caracas area and other parts of the Latin American country.
CNN.com World, September 13, 6:30 America, New York. U.S. Open winner Emma Raducanu finds new fans in China. China has a new sweetheart. 18-year-old U.S. Open winner Emma Raducanu.
New York Times World News, September 13, 6:14 America, New York. The J&J Conundrum, a guide to whether Johnson vaccine recipients should get a booster shot, and how they might do so. A registered nurse preparing a syringe with the Johnson vaccine.
September 13, 6:06 America, New York. Nation's largest school district welcomes New York students back to in-person learning. Students in New York City's public schools, the nation's largest school district, are being welcomed back to the classroom Monday for full-time, in-person learning, joining school districts across the country confronting a new academic year amid COVID-19. September 13, 6:06 America, New York. More than half of Americans support vaccine mandates for workplaces, classrooms and sporting events. Americans have grown more supportive of coronavirus vaccine mandates for workers, students, and in everyday public life, according to a new CNN poll conducted by SSRS. September 13, 6:06 America, New York. Inside the effort to resettle thousands of Afghans in the United States. After the biggest military evacuation in history, the Biden administration will now resettle more than 60,000 Afghan refugees inside the U.S. over the next several weeks. September 13, 6:05 America, New York. Biden agenda faces make-or-break moment as Democrats struggle to finalize deal. House and Senate Democratic leaders are scrambling to unite their party behind a massive economic package to implement much of President Joe Biden's domestic agenda, but substantial disagreements remain and could threaten to derail the effort.
RT World News, September 13, 6:04 America, New York. Beijing blasts Japan over decision to water down textbooks on historic, comfort women, abuses. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has registered its anger and disappointment over Japan's decision to revise textbook language on so-called comfort women, victims of Japanese wartime sexual slavery and other forced workers.
CNN.com World, September 13, 6:03 America, New York. Highlights from New York Fashion Week. New York Fashion Week is back, with designers Christian Siriano, Brandon Maxwell and Gabriella Hearst among those showcasing their Spring-Summer 2022 collections.
PowerPost, September 13, 5:54 America, New York. Biden tries to build back cooler and a new and improved power-up. The president heads west to tour wildfire damage as House Democrats hustle to advance climate legislation. Time, September 13, 5:42 America, New York. COVID-19 Delta variant breaches China again, just weeks after last outbreak. China is experiencing yet another COVID-19 outbreak caused by the Delta variant, with dozens of infections detected in the southeastern province of Fujian less than a month after the nation's last flare-up was contained.
New York Times World News, September 13, 5:33 America, New York. Australia offers COVID vaccines to children 12 and older. After a sluggish start, Australia's inoculation campaign is gathering speed amid an outbreak of the Delta variant. Harry Goodison, 12, receiving a dose of the Pfizer vaccine at a hospital in Melbourne, Australia, on Monday.
Fox World News, September 13, 5:33 America, New York. Israel hits Hamas targets in Gaza in response to rocket fire. Israeli aircraft struck a series of targets in the Gaza Strip early Monday in response to rocket launches out of the Hamas-ruled territory. September 13, 5:09 America, New York. First Pakistan International Airlines flight since foreign troop withdrawal lands in Kabul. A Pakistan International Airlines PIA passenger plane from Islamabad touched down in Kabul on Monday morning, according to an airline spokesman.
New York Times World News. September 13, 5:08 America, New York. The UK prepared for a jobs crisis, but got the unexpected. Instead of a surge in unemployment, businesses are struggling to fill positions, presenting a new risk to the pandemic recovery. A sign at Hotel Chocolat in London. RT World News. September 13, 5:03 America, New York. Lebanon to receive $1.1 billion from IMF reserve to help its struggling economy after forming government following 13-month deadlock. The Lebanese government has said it will receive $1.135 billion in International Monetary Fund, IMF, special drawing rights as the newly formed government tries to tackle the worst economic collapse in decades.
September 13, 5:02 America, New York. Higher stress levels raise blood pressure, risk of heart attack and stroke, study finds. Is that stress pumping steadily through your veins? Even if your blood pressure is normal right now, high stress levels may put you at risk of developing hypertension within the next decade or so, a new study found.
New York Times World News. September 13, 5 o'clock America, New York. Unraveling the mysteries hidden in vast glacier caves. A group of scientists and adventure athletes are venturing into icy labyrinths to study their relationships with glacial melting and climate change. During the summer, moulins are filled with raging waterfalls.
September 13, 5 o'clock America, New York. Ain Dubai, how the world's largest observation wheel was built. In a city full of superlatives, the latest addition to Dubai's long list of biggests and tallests is about to take its place in the record books.
BBC News World. September 13, 4:59 America, New York. Pope Slovakia visit sends signal after brief Hungary stop. The first papal visit in 18 years produces pleasure and puzzlement after a brief stop in Hungary.
New York Times World News. September 13, 4:58 America, New York. China's Fujian province reports Delta outbreak. The 22 new local infections in Fujian province are the most in China a month, adding to calls for Beijing to rethink its zero-COVID strategy. A photograph released by Chinese state media showing mass coronavirus testing in the southern province of Fujian on Sunday.